This week on the Racer X Show, GNCC ATV action. Things are getting close in the chase for the title. AMA Pro Flat Track has 2 to go. We chat up points leader Bryan Smith and preview what's to come. In MotoGP, someone finally knocks the mighty Honda off the top of the box. KTM dominates the world, Loretta's is remastered, and more right now. Hello and welcome to the Racer X Show presented by Chaparral Motorsports. I'm Greg White. Thanks for joining our racing highlight and news show. Last week we promised you GNCC ATV highlights, and we deliver. Plus, Valentino Rossi fans rejoice and celebrate, and so much more. So let's get going.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Visit Chaparral Motorsports online at chapmoto.com.
In the 2014 AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis, the XC Run Pro ATV Championship got even tighter when the 10th round was all buttoned up. NFAB AmPro Yamaha's Walker Fowler claimed his 4th victory of the season, getting 5 points back on Chris Borich's lead in the championship. So, let's get to the XC1 highlights. Number 521, RacingPowersports.com's Adam McGill, coming off a big win at the previous round at Snowshoe, captured the $250 Twin Air Del Risi Racing XC1 Hole Shot Award and the early lead. But on the first lap, number 2, Fowler quickly made his way into the lead, where he would control the pace for the rest of the 2-hour competition. As for the points leader, number 1, Borich, he put his Maxxis back machine into second, but the 5-time champ later admitting arm pump at the beginning of the race kept him at bay. Borich finally loosened up and started to make a charge on Fowler's lead just after the halfway mark, but it wasn't enough to rattle the young man from Rogers, Ohio in his quest for the overall victory. DWT Racing's Jared McClure had a great battle for third, edging out Chris Bithell in the end. After starting off the season with 4 of 5 wins, the momentum now shifts from Borich to Fowler, who has 3 of the last 4 victories. This is getting good. As for the XC2 Pro-Am class, Walker Fowler's teammate Cole Richardson topped the XC2 Pro-Am division by a whopping 7 minutes after steering problems kept Marshall Goings from keeping the early battle alive, giving the NFAM AmPro Yamaha squad a clean sweep at the legendary Unadilla Valley Sports Center. Richardson so far 7 wins and 2 seconds, but a DNF in round 4 is helping to keep things close with Goings, who has all the other wins in the class. We take you now to dirt track racing. The official name, AMA Pro Flat Track. The premier class, Grand National Championship, or GNC. So far in 2014, we've raced 13 of 15, and so far, we have 6 championship lead changes, with the current leader, Flint, Michigan's Bryan Smith, holding on to a slim 9-point lead. And now we welcome him to the Racer X Show, presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Bryan, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. Now, you've had a great season so far. Let me fill in the viewers on some stats. 4 wins, 3 second-place finishes, and a third. Throw away Daytona the first race, which you scored no points, and your podium percentage is 66.6%. Man, if you were playing baseball, you'd be making millions, trillions of dollars with that average. Tell us about the season so far and how great it's been for you.
It's been great. You know, it's obviously my best season. I've never led the championship this late into the year, so it's good to kind of be in the driver's seat. And it's been, you know, 4 wins. Can't ask for anything more than maybe 2 more wins here these last couple of races.
Well, that really takes us to those last 2 races. So we have Calistoga and then Pomona, 2 half-mile tracks. With your riding style, and you know, every dirt track racer has some type of a style, TT race, or I like Cush Groove or whatever. How do these 2 tracks suit your style in terms of you being able to possibly wrap this championship up?
Definitely the last one at Pomona is more my style. It's an old school, sideways, loose, you know, kind of get it on type of real dirt track. You know, so that's definitely what there's a showdown that I think I got the upper hand coming to Pomona. But we have been good on the clay half miles, which is what Calistoga is the next race. So, you know, I think we got a great shot at it, but if there's one that favors me, it's definitely the looser cushion style at Pomona.
Now, you've won the Twins Championship before, but now we're talking GNC. You've been close. How are you feeling emotionally right now, getting so close to this championship? It's been a long season. I mean, it started in March in Daytona.
Definitely a little bit of torture right now because you're leading the points. got 2-3 weeks in between races, so it's just, you know, monotonous, but it ain't really getting to me. I'm just ready to make it happen pretty much.
Tell us about the support that you've had in terms of the sponsors. I know Crosley Radio's been around a while and Villa Esparza, so tell us a little bit about that package, because a lot of people think flat track racing is just a bunch of Harleys racing around, but definitely not in your case, is it?
Yeah, it used to be, you know, all Harleys, and, you know, I kind of got involved with the Kawasaki's a few years back, and got together with a guy named Ricky Howard out of Indianapolis, and he built a great Kawasaki, and, you know, that's what I rode for the last couple of years with support from Crosley Radio. And then he backed away from it a little bit. He's still behind me quite a bit, but we just built some new bikes with a guy by the name of Joe Esparza, which is the Villa Esparza you see on my leathers now. He's stepped up, built the new bikes, and Crosley Radio's on board, along with a bunch of, you know, tons of people that have really come together to make this one heck of a championship run this year. And they're all important in their own ways, and definitely thankful to have them all on my side.
That's awesome. All right, well, Bryan, thank you so much for joining us. And folks, it's number 42, Bryan Smith. And of course, you can check out those AMA Pro flat track races on fanschoice.tv. We wish you the best of luck in the championship. And if you win that thing, you're going to come back and give us a champions interview?
Yep, for sure. No doubt, Greg. Thanks for having me.
All right, now to bring you some moto news. 2014 has been a banner year for KTM and motocross. With Red Bull KTM's Ken Roczen and Ryan Dungey at the helm, the Austrian brand finished first and second in the Lucas Oil 450 Pro Motocross Championship. And they won the West Region Supercross title with Rockstar Energy KTM's Jason Anderson. Now over in Europe, well, they swept both the MXGP and MX2 World Championships, with Tony Caroli racking up his 5th straight crown on the 450, and Frenchman Jordi Tixier holding off the gallant efforts of Jeffrey Hurlings, who tried to race the last round with that broken femur he suffered just 8 weeks ago. Add it all up, and it's probably the best season KTM has ever had in motocross. But now comes a season of change for the brand. As a matter of fact, they're in the process of losing 3 of those aforementioned 2014 champs. Now first, there's the departure of Ken Roczen, who was spotted this week testing the new Suzuki he'll be racing, maybe even as soon as the Red Bull Straight Rhythm event coming up in early October. Jason Anderson is still on the Rockstar Energy team, but the team itself is switching over to Husqvarna, the old Swedish brand that was purchased by KTM and now built in Austria. And Tixier, the unlikely MX2 world champ, didn't even have a contract extended to 2015 with KTM, so he switches over to Kawasaki. Now that means that of the 4 #1 plates that KTM earned in Pro Motocross and Supercross this season, 3 of them won't actually be worn by KTM riders. Only Tony Caroli returns in MXGP. Ironically, he won't wear the #1 anyway, because he's always been number 222. Check out MAV TV. Find them on your satellite or cable provider and order it up so you can watch the Mountain Dew ATV MX National Championship. You saw our interview with Chad Wienen, the champ. Well, see for yourself how he dominated the 2014 championship. Saturday, September 20th, noon East, 9 a.m. Pacific, from Loretta Lynn's. Tune in or DVR it. It's great stuff. And speaking of Loretta Lynn's, we've been telling you about the remastered races from this year's Rocky Mountain ATV MC AMA National Motocross Championship presented by AMSOIL at Loretta Lynn's. That's got to be a drinking game or something. Anyway, the first 14 are up right here on Racer TV. For the next 4 weeks, we'll be putting up 14 races a week. And the action, well, it looks like this.
Darian Sinai was in the mix there on the Kawasaki. Good start for him. A couple of teammates. How about that? Soon to be teammates. Look at that on the outside, and Hampshire goes for it. Smith cuts down the line. Hampshire eats some of that roost.
Swapping it inside to outside. Inside. No, I thought Hampshire had the move made. Now they're going for the lead. Mistake for Baker, and RJ Hampshire says, thank you, I've got it.
Those 2 rollers right there just take the life.
Oh, and Plessinger. Checkered flag is out. RJ Hampshire conquers it.
So check that out. Now, onto the road race side of things and MotoGP. With Misano, Italy being lucky stop 13, well, lucky for Yamaha anyway, after the first 12 races were won by Honda, Yamaha finally gets one. And delivering it to them, number 46, 35-year-old Valentino Rossi, and in spectacular style. Marc Marquez crashed chasing Valentino Rossi, but it was the doctor's home race, and he was not going to be denied. Congratulations to Valley and the entire Yamaha crew. And a quick note on AMA Pro Road Racing, the Superbike Championship. The season wrapped up at New Jersey Motorsports Park this past weekend, And congratulations to Monster Energy Graves Yamaha's Josh Hayes on his 4th Superbike title. He wrapped it up in the rain Saturday in Millville. In the Daytona Sport Bike class, San Diego native Jake Gagne on the Red Bull Road Racing Factory Yamaha took home the title, finishing off the year with a dominant win at NJMP. And finally to Danny Eslick. The flat tracker turned road racer gets his 2nd national championship in the Vance & Hines XR 1200 class. Big changes coming for these racers next year, but for now, enjoy it, boys. Want to get out and watch some racing? We want you to. Round 11 of 13 happens this weekend for the AMSOIL GNCC Series presented by Maxxis. Go race it or experience it for yourself. Mountain Ridge Trails Resort in Central City, PA is the spot.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Visit Chaparral Motorsports online at chatmoto.com.
All right, if you want to get in touch with us, shoot me an email. It's greg@racertv.com. That's it for now. We hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly did. Check out all of our social media links. Twitter and Instagram, it's @RacerXShow. On YouTube, it's The Racer X Show. Like us, follow us, do all that kind of stuff. And you can follow me personally on Twitter. It's @Greg White. For the fine crew here at the Racer X Show, presented by Chaparral Motorsports and Racer TV, I'm Greg White. Remember, we are all racing all the time. See you next week. We'll have a good one next week. There'll be GNCC stuff, more interviews, more moto news. It'll be great. Tell all your friends. Share this link, tweet it, do all that kind of stuff.